Today we're going to continue decorating this beautiful Victorian for Christmas. We are going to be setting up the garlands in the stairwell and hanging some on the archway that leads to the foyer and the stairwell, as well as setting up 3 Christmas village scenes throughout the house. Hi, my name is Nicole. I am the Wanderlust Surgeon here on YouTube and also on Instagram. Right now I'm all about decor, but I also do some traveling and some lifestyle. So if you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you so much. I'm genuinely so happy that you're here. So this is the first time we're decorating these stairs. We just moved in about 6 weeks ago, and we knew immediately that we wanted to do something very traditional and in keeping with the Victorian nature of the home. So something traditional, drapey, all that was our goal. And Charlie was here for all of it. So I had laid some of the garland out, and she decided that she wanted this little nest for herself to hide in, and then Emma wanted in on the action. They were constantly around us and excited to be part of the action as we decorated. This whole process was a 2-person job for sure. There was a ton of adjustments needing to be made, going up and down the stairs, checking, talking about the best way to do things. And I suppose that's normal in any new situation. The battery boxes themselves were about 6 inches long and about 3 inches high, so they're almost impossible to hide, but they take 3D batteries, so they're pretty heavy as well. And of course in that section of the garland it's not going to bend, so that's what we're kind of battling with right there. Up and down the stairs a million times, and this video is heavily edited, so this whole process took us forever, but I think it was worth the effort. Obviously the easy way would have been to just run it straight up the railing, but I was pretty committed to the vision of the drapes, and so then the drapes had to be just so, and stubborn, crazy, committed, all of the above. I don't know. I think it worked out in the end. And you'll have a chance to see it all come together. After I'm done decorating this entire house, I'm going to do a whole home tour. So please take just a second to hit that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the home decorating action, including that final whole house tour. Say that 5 times fast. The spacing of this lower piece was actually, I was really lucky that the front part of it could wrap all the way around this front banister. So it looked like it was kind of all the way wrapped around. The one that's on the landing there on the rotunda, that did not wrap all the way around, and I had to tie it with a string and zip ties and all this stuff. You know, it's adjustments, it's figuring things out, it's patience, it's stubbornness. I don't know. I would love your tips and tricks for hanging the perfect garland. Drop it in the comments, and we'll share tips here amongst our little community. So I think it turned out great. I'm going to do some more minor adjustments, and Charlie's going to supervise here. The cats love sitting on these banisters. There's these 2 or 3 actually all of them. There's 4 here, and there's one at the very top, and when they sit on the very top it freaks me out, but they're cats, they're not gonna fall. So yeah, you know, obviously garland's gonna make a huge mess. Got to just clean up here before moving on to the next project. So the next bit is going to be in this rotunda area. There's a large, wonderful bench with beautiful curved windows, and I love the idea of just filling it with pillows and soft things, curling up with a book and a warm mug of tea or chocolate or coffee or whatever it is that you are in the mood for. So I wanted to make this very warm and inviting. Obviously the lighting is very nice for reading, and I do love reading. I love books, and I'm kind of obsessed about them, and I will get to that eventually, but I've just been so busy. So here's the rotunda, how it shaped up. You see the famous pink mouse. All the cats love the pink mouse at the bottom there, but I think it turned out really nicely, and the cats love sitting here watching the birds and the traffic go by. Next, I'm going to move on to this archway. So this is from the point of view of the living room, which we've already decorated. And this beautiful archway goes out into the foyer and then up the stairs. So I can't remember where I saw this. I saw it Instagram, Pinterest, I don't know. There was an asymmetrical hanging garland that was draped all the way down to the floor. And I didn't have two of these left. I just had the one because I obviously saw the inspiration after I ordered it, because that's how it always works. So I was going to try to do the same effect with just the one piece of garland. And I was using the command hooks that had the cord bundlers, and I was concerned about the weight. So here I am trying to get this all correct. And then I added the 3D batteries, and I was so nervous about it falling. It did end up falling, and I had to use like string and hooks and things like that because the batteries made it so heavy, but it ended up working out. But I did not stick with this asymmetrical design. I sat with it for a few minutes. I was getting kind of tired, so I took a break, and then I just stared at it, and I stared at it, and I decided, no, I'm not gonna, it doesn't look right. So, and I'm sorry that this video is sideways and tilted a little bit, because that's kind of how I was feeling by the end of the day. So I'm making it symmetrical. I wish it were a little longer, and next year, if it's still available, I will order another one and see if we can get a little more length on this. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The next thing that I'm going to do after I get this all situated is hang some glass icicles. I found these on Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description of the video. They come in a box of 24, and they're so cool. They are more cool than I thought they were going to be. I hung them kind of in a natural, not symmetrical pattern across the archway, and the effect of the lights reflecting through the glass is just really magical. And so imagine it's time for bed, the lights are off, but these garlands are still lit, and all the icicles are glittering as you pass under them and pass up the stairs to your cozy bed. Okay, next we're going to move on to the 3 village scenes that I've set up. Lauren, who was the previous resident, was so kind to let me use some of her Limex collection, the ones that she handpicked basically to be in this home. I had to set up a little operating theater here. Some of the pieces over time have come off, and that's to be expected. So we're just going to do a little surgery on a couple of pieces, fitting back on trees and finials and wreaths and things like that. Just a hot glue gun will take care of pretty much any problem, and this is a Gorilla Glue, so that's really going to stick well. While the buildings are in recovery from their surgeries, I am setting up the buffet in the dining room, which is where the Victorian Village will be. This has the most pieces in it, and it is my favorite. I read A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens every Christmas. I read it out loud to Tracy, and I think it embodies so much of the Christmas spirit that I just love and have loved pretty much my whole life. So these are all Victorian themed pieces that I have just sort of set up around here. So once I kind of figure out where I want them to go, I get their plugs and I dig little holes through the snow and hide the cords underneath the snow layer. And this takes some extra time, and I think that it's worth the extra time, because I don't want to see a bunch of cords in my magical village. I just want the village to be there, and all the magic of lighted buildings. And how are they lighted? I don't know. I don't see any cords. This was my first time turning on Ebenezer Scrooge's house, and I was so excited. I stood there and looked at it and listened to it for like 5 minutes. I was just enthralled. So I'm just going to continue to set up all of the pieces with their plugs and hiding the cords and digging holes and burying the cords and all of that. I had a bit of extra room for another piece of the collection, so I went ahead and added this skating one. I was not thrilled with the quality of the light. It's that LED harsh bluish kind of light, not a soft white. So I don't end up turning it on very often, but I wanted to hide the cords in the battery pack for this one. This one is a battery one, so I'm still doing my hiding here. The next thing is adding trees, and I had evergreens to choose from varying sizes, and I kind of scattered them all around and added my little figurines as well. This is the chimney sweep. I thought he would be good by the pub after a hard day's work, and my little lady selling apples will be great next to the figure skaters as they need a snack. I have a couple who are at a bistro table, so I put them by the greenhouse, and then another couple getting a Christmas tree, and I'm just now setting up some little like smaller topiaries and a wrought iron fence around the cathedral. I think this turned out great for all of the pieces that I have on here, so let's take a tour. The next scene that I wanted to set up was here in the kitchen. This scene was inspired by the piece that I already have set up in the corner. It reminded me of the Painted Ladies of San Francisco, so I wanted a non-snowy scene, so I had this brick mat. Now the challenge of this part was that I put the Painted Ladies on a styrofoam piece, but this mat was so thick that it wasn't really molding really well around it. So I got a blow dryer, which was my wife's idea, and that made the rubber more malleable and easier to fold so that I could wrap it kind of around the styrofoam. So I kept it on as I was working with the rubber and the plastic, and finally got it to where kind of things were sort of flat and eventually got it to where it would kind of lay flat. So you'll see me continuing to work with it as the heat is being applied, and eventually I was like, oh hey, I have room for another piece, and this is great because I needed something with a little weight to keep this fold from unfolding. So after I got it pretty well folded down, I turned the cool shot on, and then I put the hair dryer on while I got the other piece. This other piece is a skating rink, which I was pretty excited about. It has skaters, and they're attached to metal pieces under the ice, and when you turn it on, they all kind of dance around on the ice. So that's pretty magical. I added this band by the Painted Ladies, a hot cocoa van, and a bench with a candy cane on it. And here is the final look. scene I'm setting up is going to be at the top of the stairs. This is a ski village. It's going to be a ski village, so I chose really fluffy snow for this because I wanted to look like it just got a fresh coat of snow. It made it a little difficult placing the smaller pieces because they kept falling over, but you know what? It's okay. It's fine. So the ski village is really fun, and it has two areas where the skiers and snowboarders move around, and then another one on the bottom where they get on the ski lift. So here's my little family setting up the Christmas tree that keeps falling over, but that's okay. And I don't have a full view of going up the stairs and seeing all of everything lit yet. Stay tuned, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do. You will definitely see a whole home tour, including a trip up the stairs. So like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any decorating videos, and of course the final home tour. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you real soon, and I miss you already.